Good morning. My name is John Ballier, and I have a show on WXOX Louisville, Kentucky, every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m., and it's called All That Jazz. I do this program under the name of Juan Leone, and I'll be celebrating 6 years at the end of this month of bringing Saturday morning jazz, blues, and gospel to our listeners. Thank you for joining us this afternoon for working with AudioPort. You'll hear presentations from Ursula Ruendenberg, Stephanie Schubert, Otis Maclay, and David Klon. All of them work for Pacifica Network, and they will describe for you the process of sharing and receiving through AudioPort. Ursula and Stephanie did a wonderful presentation on Friday about tools for the toolbox, options for working remotely. We're very lucky to have them come back and now give us some insights about using AudioPort. But first, let me thank our sponsors. Community radio is a true beacon of democracy. We would like to thank our grassroots radio conference sponsors for their support for college and community radio, not only this weekend, but throughout the year. And they include Pacifica Network, SCMS, Broadcast Equipment Solutions, Spinatron, Broadcast Tool and Die, and Mad Pixel Art and Design. And we definitely want to thank Mary Yates for providing technical support and being our host for many of these presentations, including this one. What we're not seeing is the amazing amount of work that went into preparing for this conference by a committee that met often and worked very hard to put this together. And so we all want to thank Mary for being a vital part of that effort. And just for your own information, her show is called Lady Jam's Juice Box on WXOX 97.1 FM and artxfm.com every Friday from 2 to 4 p.m.
Thanks, John.
Oh, sure.
Okay, so let's get started. Stephanie, did you want to start or should I just jump right into the introduction?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'm Ursula Ruendenberg, Pacifica Network affiliate network manager. And I am here in Ames, Iowa, together with Stephanie, and Otis is in Austin, and David Klon is in Minneapolis. So we are a national network, and I really appreciate these group of people that I'm here with. And I've really been appreciating the conference. That last segment was incredible, and yesterday was incredible. And I just, even though it's virtual, I'm just reminded again of how really precious this conference is. And it's so nice to, like, once in a while see somebody in a little window. Like right now I see Simon Frack, and it's just so good to see everybody once in a while and to know that you guys are safe up there in Redway. Hi, Michelle. And it's just really good to see your faces. So as always, I'm just loving the Grassroots Radio Conference. It just means so much. So we're going to talk a little bit in the next hour about AudioPort and other internet technology that Pacifica provides for infrastructure. We are aware that some of you listening to this may not be Pacifica affiliates, so we're going to try not to make it too nuts and bolts and internal language, but more of an explanation of how the facility works in general. AudioPort is a content distribution system. I think it's fair to say it's the major grassroots community radio content distribution system in the country. It's a website, and its purpose is to encourage grassroots media production and provide an entry point for new people into the field, which is something Pacifica always aspires to. It's a means for distribution of content to our network members. And it is also just basically meant to build network, period, by giving a place for people within the network to see each other and to see what each other are doing. Just a real brief mention of The background, AudioPort was created in 2002 and 2003. And if some of you can think back then, you probably realized that nobody could figure out what the heck it was when it was built. It was built before the concept of the cloud existed. And it was a revolutionary idea. Actually, the person who built the software for AudioPort was Sean Ewald, who pioneered the concept of the cloud and content distribution with his breakthrough website, Radio for All. And he was employed by Pacifica to take that software and to work together with Pete Caracas, who with Sean pioneered the idea of a content distribution system online for Pacifica. It was a direct response to expressed needs. The Pacifica affiliate network is a client-based service. It is built solely upon the needs of the people it serves and what they say they need, what they want. And in 2002, it was very clearly we were very clearly told that what people in our network wanted was a change from the top-down model of content distribution that Pacifica had until then, where Pacifica was the only provider, and it was a way of going from a top-down to a vertical to a horizontal model for the network. And which really was squarely within the tradition of what the affiliate network for Pacifica had always been, which was a collaboration between radio people all over the country. So it was much more in line with the tradition of the affiliate network. And it was to make it possible for our network members to receive content more conveniently than through the satellite, and a means for them to distribute their work. Many stations felt they had matured to the point where they wanted to be content providers. Also, it provided an archive of the satellite. It provides a stream which provides access to live content, which is really important during national programs like the presidential, vice presidential debate. Election night's going to be lots of fun for all of us, and times of national events where you need a live broadcast. And there is actually also a stream of scheduled programs. There is also a live stream in AudioPort that currently is not being used that could actually be used to do like a 24/7 stream of content that people could use if they wanted. We've just never that's really a matter of manpower and staff to manage something like that. So it's not really used. Now, Otis also just reminded me that there's another use for AudioPort, which is interesting, which was developed out of a need. One of our stations, WHYR in Baton Rouge, they started using AudioPort as a local system for them to communicate with their own automation system, which kind of wreaked havoc because it's a national distribution facility, really. And so Otis built a private spot for people to create, to have an RSS feed for their own personal automation system, which doesn't show up in the public part of the website. And that leads me to the last part of the website, which is there is space on the website where people have private space in the Pacifica server where they can store content privately and share it with only the people they want to share it with. Okay, so that's basically what the website does. It doesn't really do anything else. It's a very simple website, and it looks like it was built in 2003. It's not a contemporary fancy website, but it really, really works, and it is very heavily used, and it has a network that is driving people to it. It is essentially a Creative Commons type of philosophy. There is no money exchanged in AudioPort. The people who can access AudioPort are network members, so it comes with network membership. There is no extra cost for any programming when you're a member of Pacifica Network. It's a one-fee service. You either have access to everything or not. So we don't track who takes what. And on the other side, producers are not paid for their work in AudioPort. They submit their work with the understanding that this is out of the mission to distribute content. In fact, at the beginning of AudioPort, there was going to be a fee for syndicating. And then that was removed pretty quickly because just we realized it wasn't really within the paradigm of what we were doing. The sources of content in AudioPort there's a very, very, very wide variety of content. It comes from producers at network member stations, and it comes from producers outside of the network. Some of them are producers at stations that are not members, and some are independent production groups. A very invisible part of Pacifica Network is more than 100 independent production groups that work with Pacifica and distribute programming and participate in other ways as members, even though they're not paying affiliates. And then to wrap up, the people use AudioPort usually to provide content to fill their program schedules, to find content that sets a standard of quality for their station, both for listeners and for their own producers. It's a training tool because it provides a lot of examples of types of production. It is a place for ambitious producers to expand their their listenership when they feel they're ready. It's an excellent networking tool because we can see the network, we can see what people are doing. The workroom is a useful tool in this day of Dropbox and many other forms of services. It's not as vital as it used to be, but it's still a convenient place to store content online and to share it and to collaborate with people. It is access to live programming that Pacifica and other affiliates will produce for special events. And it is also a source for a lot of independent producers get grants by saying that they're an AudioPort and can give some sort of statistics that way. There are other sources for a nationally syndicated program. We're not the only source. I think we're, in a way, the most developed source for our community, but you can go to independent producers' individual websites to get content. Some people use SoundCloud pretty regularly to get content. PRX is a fantastic website. In my opinion, I think it's very beautiful and very built out. It is more like a store. AudioPort operates more like a warehouse for the network. There's no barriers. You're in and you're out as quickly just to grab something. PRX is more like a store. There are barriers, and that it includes some financial cost, also financial compensation for the producers. And Radio for All is still around with Sean Ewald and still provides programming. And so it's not the only service around. It is a very, very convenient service, and for producers, it has the advantage of having a network that that's driving people to the website. So even though the website is sometimes not the cleanest and kind of most contemporary look, it really does the job. It gets you in and out quickly, and it connects a whole lot of people to your programming if you want to distribute. And I'm going to stop there. There's lots more to say, but I'm going to toss it over to Stephanie to talk a little bit about how to find content in the website.
Thank you. I saw a question, Ursula, and I thought it would be good if we just clarified. You did touch on it about, they were asking who can access content, who can submit content, and you said we have affiliates and independent producers, but maybe could you just clarify how that works?
Yeah, well, affiliates, people at affiliate stations can receive accounts through their own local management. And so they don't have to really communicate with us about that, although they often do for support. People who are not at affiliate stations, if they contact us, they can contact me at ursula@pacifica.org. And then it's a simple vetting process where, we just check out and make sure the material is, technically sound and doesn't contain FCC violations and doesn't violate our restrictions against hate speech and bigotry. And so then, I mean, within the Pacifica tradition, we don't what do you call it? We don't listen to what people are doing and censor it. It's just, we couldn't do it if we wanted to, but I make sure that the program, you know, meets national standards and has a good introduction and outro. And then we give you your own account as an independent producer.
Okay, cool. Thank you. And I will, oh, I should probably reintroduce myself. I'm Stephanie Schubert. I'm the operations coordinator with Pacifica Network. And I'm just going to share the basics, how to find stuff in AudioPort. So let's do it. I'm going to share my screen here. Okay. So here's AudioPort, guys. What you're looking at, we have two menus basically, and they mirror each other. You have the menu across the top here. It says find programming, add programming, my workroom. And then if you look over to the right, you'll see a blue menu. And it says the same thing, find programming, halfway down, add programming, my workroom. And then also ways to find content. Up top, by type, by topic, by producer, by length, and then on the blue menu on the right, by type, by topic, by producer, by length, with some other ones that are added in that, but they kind of are the same. So also, when you're looking at the beginning here at this first page, you'll see automatically in this gray area in the main part, daily, weekly, bi-weekly, and if you scroll down, it'll say monthly, etc. And these are all by, well, I got confused. By type. And that's just like a quick search, like, you know, it's already ready to go because they're current, all these, the daily, weekly, bi-weekly programs. So I'm going to go to the top here and click on the by type. And I got that confused, didn't I? Is it by? No, that's right. Yeah. Okay. So we have by type here. And again, you have the daily, weekly, bi-weekly, monthly. If we go to the weekly program, and you'll see here that these are all current. And there's the Art FM, Blues Highway. There's a dance hall reggae show.
What the order you're seeing is purely consecutive. It's, you know, things are listed just consecutively.
Right, like how quickly, the latest one that's come up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they're different lengths of show, but they're all weekly. So if we go back, so we have them by the calendar, daily, weekly, monthly. Another few good ones that I especially like, we just added this COVID-19 section that people have been adding to. That's been really useful for people. Dr. Derry, who spoke on Friday, was it Friday? Yeah, he has his noise filter show in here. And then we have some other specials, people talking about COVID-19. There's a lot of noise filter shows. I see there's a Money Matters here at the bottom, traveling during COVID. So that's been really nice to have. We also have, what's other ones? Events and speeches, whenever there's the debates and Senate things and hearings and things like that. And then we have documentaries. We just had a new documentary series added, which I'm excited about, called Common Land. Over in Idaho, they're doing a long series about environment and protecting the environment. And other documentaries there. And we have Spanish language programming and PSA announcements. So that's a handy topic. Type. Now let's go to topic. Next door. Okay. So this is a thing that, Otis, did you set this up? This was the thing that you set up? Yeah. If you expand this, when people upload a show, they can click these boxes. So people will know, you know, what category they are. So I found that this is very helpful for, like, let's see, if you were looking for something very specific, like you want to do fracking. Oh, here we go. Here's a bunch of shows on fracking. Okay. And then, or like a very specific place. Let's do, I found one the other day. I wanted to do that one again. Well, I found one on Congo and there was one on that. Let's see if there's something on Russia. Oh, there's a bunch of stuff on Russia. Okay. So that's handy for that. Now let's move along this top menu some more. Whoops. And we'll go by producer. So that's basically a name. And it's alphabetical. And I'm gonna look for Spencer Graves. He's been doing some stuff lately at KKFI. JJ Elemental. Oh, did I pass it? Well, anyway, let's see. Let's do this guy, Steve Baker. Nobody. Well, anyway, so if you had programs, it would be there. Next up is, on the top menu, is length. So that's if you're doing 1 minute, 30 minutes, 60 minutes. 1 minute, so we have a lot of like little environmental shows. What's this? Gulf
It's
Coast
when you're
Music.
desperate and you need 5 minutes right now. That's what it's for.
There you go. If you need to fill a slot, you can find what you need. I think, are these, I don't know if these are current though, right? These are kind of all over the place. 2016. But yes, like you said. Okay. So I'm gonna go back to the beginning, homepage. There we are. So type, topic, producer, length. And if you, again, on the blue menu, type, topic, producer, length. Now, on the blue menu, we have some more options. We have by affiliate. So all the radio stations are listed here. If you want to find a show that someone in Philadelphia is doing, or California, wherever, you can go there. Next down, we have series and podcasts. So by title of show. Also alphabetical. I picked M, and then we have all these shows. Let's say if I heard Radio Curious is a good show. I'm gonna go to R, and here it is, Radio Curious. Here's all their shows. Okay. I think I'll take this moment to share our other menu that we have on Pacifica. This menu with the series is nice, but there's also, it's got everything that's current, everything that's not current, some things that maybe just have one episode. It's a lot there because this has been around for a long time, so it's a big pile of things. So if you want a more streamlined menu, hop on over to our Pacifica webpage, and we have an AudioPort menu section here that is just more current. I'm keeping it updated. We have it by category here: arts, comedy, culture, environment, history, music, etc. So it's a little more simplified.
Stephanie,
And
show them the music section. Stephanie's
Yeah.
been working really hard on the music section. Show them that.
So here's our mixed music. And I have this organized by category of music. So instead of like multiple uploads of each, title, it's just one title, which helps keep it simple. So here's Cat Beast Party, and it's surf music, it's weekly, it's 2 hour. And then if you decide, oh, that sounds like something I want, click on it, and then it'll take you directly to the AudioPort section. And so we have alternative, blues, classical, country, eclectic, electronic, kind of mixed genre benders. They kind of could be anything or their own thing. Hip hop, there's Chuck D, there he is. Jazz, metal, reggae, R&B, rock and oldies, spiritual, world, and there we go. I would say the music and the news and the public affairs are the largest sections that we have. I'll just show you that so you can get an idea. I'm going to work on organizing this a little better too. So there's a whole bunch of stuff everyone's contributing to. It goes on a long way. Okay. So what's next?
Okay, am I next, Stephanie, or you have anything more to say?
I have a few more things to touch on.
Okay.
I have about 5 minutes. I did by length. Oh, public programs I'll just touch on. That's not password protected. Basically, it's our Sprouts show that we have everyone, all the affiliates, people, and non-affiliates contribute to. That is one show that you can take if you are not an affiliate. So that's something nice to be aware of. I don't know if you want me to say anything more on that, Ursula, or if I should just keep it simple.
No, keep going. We can, if people have questions, we can go back.
Okay. The last way to find things is through the search button. So let's do Radio Curious again. Radio Curious. I know you guys know how to search, but there's something I want to show you. And I push go. It's time. And there it is, Radio Curious. You have to be as accurate. You have to be accurate to make it work. If you say Radio Curious, it will not know what to do. So make sure you get your words and letters in a row the right way. When you do find a show, let's click on this one, and we'll get into more of this later. I'll just show you, it'll tell about what it is, and then there's a download button right here, and that's where you download it. And we'll go back to that more later. And then I also wanted to touch on the KU streams. Here it is in green. Okay, so we don't have a satellite anymore. It says satellite, KU satellite, but it's a stream, it's not a satellite. And it's separated into 2 parts. The left channel is regular programming, and here is the calendar for that. It's Monday through Friday. A lot of stations, when they sign up with us, they like to get Democracy Now! So we got a bunch of Democracy Now! Stuff up there, and then, whatever else that is going on. Let me get out of this. Oh, sorry, I moved that thing. Can I just click out of that? Okay, good. And there's 2 ways that you can access this. You can get the link. There's a direct link here. You can do it manually. Or if you want, you can go, we have a listserv, it's on Yahoo. And when we have Well, wait, that would be for the special programming, wouldn't it? It wouldn't be for the regular programming.
Right.
It's requested.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, if you want the regular schedule, you just do it through the direct link here.
If it's special programming, you get it to the right channel. Like
Okay.
tomorrow,
What-
I expect to run the judiciary hearings
Right,
on
what is
KU, on
Otis-
KU, right? Just
What,
the raw
what
hearings.
Stephanie's not sure about is, can we provide a direct IP address for the left channel? That's what she's wondering.
For like if they want Democracy Now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. It all depends on how you're how you use the internet, how you use a stream. But yeah, if you the direct link will take you to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Direct link will take you to it, and
Okay.
it's not a secret where it is. We don't advertise it. It's kind of a weird port, but it's not restricted.
Okay.
And these links
basically,
work.
Click there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we here at KHOI, we play Democracy Now! Automatically in its second airing on the satellite, and
Right.
we don't do it by hand. It happens through our automation system.
Okay. Yes, and then this, like they were saying, the right channels for special programming. And there's again the link. And then if you want an automated, we will have that in our listserv on Yahoo. So you can look on that and you can find, for instance, the judiciary hearings and the IPS address, and you can connect that way. And I think that's all I have. Oh, one more. Otis just added this. If we go back to the main menu here.
Stephanie, when you're done, keep sharing the audio port, okay? Because we can just, when I talk, we can just use your share.
Okay, super. Otis added an album feature. We got a request from a musician, I believe that's right.
Yeah, David.
Okay, David who?
David Rovix.
David Rovix. So this is for non-copyrighted music is the intention for, a collection, an album of musicians who want to share their music. And he has it set up real nice here. Got a picture, and you can listen to it kind of like podcast style. If you want to hear the program, you can download it here. There's an arrow there for that. Or you can download the whole album at the bottom here. And so we're hoping people will start jumping on that. And I'll go back to, okay, and that's what I have. So I'm ready to move on.
Okay. So I'm going to speak real briefly about the other end of this, which is getting programs into the AudioPort. The AudioPort is designed to be basically managed locally. There is no way that we could manage this website ourselves, because this website has thousands and thousands of programs and people involved with the website. So it's an honor system. When we built this website, everybody told us not to do it because they said it would be way too risky to have so many people uploading into a website for, in a controlled environment like we are with the FCC. And I have to say, the website's been up since 2002. And aside from occasional FCC violations, which we unfortunately have to try to track down when they happen, it's been a remarkable demonstration of collaboration and cooperation. And everybody has really done an incredible job of contributing and working with the system. So the idea is that each station is, in a sense, a self-managed account. And each station has an AudioPort manager who is usually the program director or the operations manager. And this person can give people accounts and or take them away. So we ask somebody locally to manage the system and to keep it updated. and to be responsible for the content that is coming out of their station. Independent producers are, self-managed. And so there's a system for giving somebody an account. Stephanie's showing that to us. Okay, so go to view edit users. This is when you go to if you're an AudioPort manager, and if you go to your workroom, which is the private part on the server, you will see that line that said view programmers. And then if you, okay, Stephanie has a network manager account, so you're going to have to go to a specific station.
Okay.
This is not, you're not going to see this. This is because Stephanie manages the AudioPort. So go down to, Stephanie, scroll down. Go to KBOO. Or just pick any station.
It's going to take us 10 minutes to find all
That's
of
right.
them.
That's probably not a good choice. That was a big station.
Yeah, actually,
Anyway,
you will see on that list, you got to go to your own station, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Oh, that was
so
quick.
what you,
That was quick.
so scroll down now, Stephanie.
Okay.
So what you see here is a list of all the people that have accounts at KBOO who are programmers there, and the manager can then grant them status to also give other people accounts, and he or she can suspend them so that they no longer have accounts in the website. We generally tell people not to remove accounts because AudioPort is basically just a big database, and so if you remove their account, you remove all the programming associated with their account. So we generally ask people to suspend people so that their content can stay in AudioPort. AudioPort has content that goes all the way back to 2002, so it's an incredible archive of grassroots content. Real quickly, when should you, if you're at a station, when should you encourage a producer to start syndicating? When you start to feel like they're, some producers just naturally start to grow and are producing content that really deserves recognition and interest and is a value to other people around the country. And a lot of times when somebody feels that one of their producers is at that point, they have them call us and we kind of have a talk with them. There is a page on our website that gives kind of a checklist for new members to AudioPort, which is kind of a combination between rules of the road, which have to do with things like sound quality and how you open a show for national broadcast, how you get rid of station identifications and local announcements, those type of things. And then we very often stay on the phone with a new producer when they upload for the first time, so that they don't get caught up on any of the kind of little mental traps that can happen. And we just don't want them to waste any time. So we always offer to be with somebody the first time they upload a show into the website, so they really know how to do it. Somebody asked, was it difficult? It's not hard, but it's an older website, so it doesn't follow the more current conventions. And so we like to talk you through it the first time. Once you do it, it's pretty intuitive. And the web page we provide also gives tips for self-promotion. And this is something people ask me a lot about. And the answer still remains the same after all these years. When I ask stations, what makes you take a show consider a show for your schedule? The answer is always give us a call. The telephone call is what does it. Our website, pacificanetwork.org, has a map of affiliates, which gives links to their websites with their phone numbers. We don't give out staff names, mainly because all these stations, the staff changes so quickly that we're not doing you a service by giving you our information. It's best for you to go to their website. And also we do have a listserv, which unfortunately is a Yahoo listserv, so it's wonky, but it does kind of work. And it is an announcement listserv, so people can regularly announce the shows that they are uploading to the rest of the network and let each other know what's going on. Stephanie, let's you and I move into the next section.
Okay.
And talk.
You were at
and
12 o'clock. Do we go to 12:30? Or is that right?
You're welcome to go over. The next session starts at 12:15 with Sorry, 1:30. So you are fine
Okay.
until 1:15.
So we might have to condense a little bit.
Well, you can run over. That's fine. Just people may want to check out the other sessions, so they may drop out at that point. But you can go ahead and go over for anyone who wants to stay for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
A Yahoo account is not needed to be part of the listserv. Listserv is called Pacifica Announce at Yahoo Groups. You do not need a Yahoo account to do it, although it's a good idea because Yahoo I find incredibly wonky. And one of the things that takes up a lot of my time is people writing to me and saying that their message is not showing up on the listserv. And Yahoo went through some really, really big changes recently that are not for the better, other than I find their news tracking Donald Trump very interesting. But other than that, it's not the best technology. So it really helps if you have a Yahoo account. But no, you do not need one.
Okay. So let's go and see what it's like to add a show. We'll try to keep it simple here. I know this is a lot of information. So we have this top menu again. I'm at Find Programming. I'm gonna move over to Add Programming. And I'm gonna add a Sprouts show. That's what I do. I work with the Sprouts. And
Sprouts is a weekly show that we produce that features production at a radio station, grassroots radio stations and production groups. So if you have a production that you're really proud of that you would like to share nationally or globally, really,
yeah.
contact us. Tell us. We'll have you do a Sprouts show.
Oh. Yeah, give me a call. Especially now, we got a lot going on. We need to hear from everyone across the country. So this is when you want to add programming, it gives you some guidelines on what we want for Sprouts. What we want.
But usually you just want to click one and go to next page.
Which is what we will do. Okay, here we are. Whoa, sorry, I'm going to collapse this for now. So this is what you do. What we're going to do is we're going to give all the information we can and be as thorough as we can. So when other stations want to pick up your show, they can see right away what they need. Like, oh, is this something I'm interested? How long is it? You know, stuff like that. What's the label? So I'm going to say, and I know we were going to talk about a series versus a show, but maybe we'll just keep it simple right now.
Yeah, I would go through, I don't want to waste too much time on this.
We don't want to get confusing. Okay.
Yeah, so we get through this pretty efficiently.
Okay, let's title this GRC is Fun. And, oh, that's right, I'm not logged in as Sprouts, am I?
Right.
But I would normally say Sprouts here under series. Program type. This is a weekly program. Subtitle. Today is Sunday. And these boxes that we talked about earlier, this is where you will give more specific information. This is a history of the GRC, and it's about parenthood. Not really, and it's coming from Molly and whatever other categories you want to add. And then when you do that, it'll show up in that little box down there so you can see what categories you had. I think you can, yes, 10. You can do up to 10 topics. And I'm just going to collapse this so it's easier. Okay. Next column is featured. Who did you interview in this story? I interviewed Ursula and Otis and David. Okay, and about this program. This is about the GRC and how fun it is, and we are all getting together and having.
This is your moment to advertise your show. This is basically your elevator speech for this particular installment.
Exactly. And then next category is credits. Who produced this? Who's the host? We have music that we have for Sprouts specifically that we'll give them credit to. Anyone else who did help with editing or any of that stuff, you'll put in that box. Okay, broadcast, broadcast, yes, it's nonprofit. About this series, so here's something that we just want to keep in mind. Your show is going to be different than your series. So the series is Sprouts. We just talked about the show, about the program, about the specific program. About Sprouts, you can say about the larger series. Sprouts is a independent grassroots media program that features different radio stations across the country. And
Yeah, that's basically your branding statement. But a lot of times people also like to put websites in there, you know, other contact information, stuff like that too.
Exactly.
Make it real clear what a series is, please, because
The series is the name of the show. For instance, Democracy Now! That would be a series, although it's not actually a series in AudioPort, but it's the name of the show itself. And so at the top of the thing, in AudioPort, a series is the name of your show. The program that, Stephanie, can you scroll up at the top again?
Yeah.
Where it says program title, that's the name of your installment that week.
Yes.
And that's an important distinction because the series makes your show podcastable by the website, which is how people automate. People use podcast technology to automate their use of AudioPort.
The series on the front page, the series is what shows up in bold type. And then the title is after that. So usually the title is a date or a show number or content, something like that. But you don't need to put the name of the show.
Well, I highly encourage that because people really respond to names. If you put a show with a date, people will generally will not be interested in it because they don't know what it is. That's what I found. So if you want to promote your show, give it names.
Yes.
That describe what's in the show.
And I'll just, oh wait, that's the next page. Okay. Thank you guys for helping clarify that. And then when we have all that.
Well, before you do that, Stephanie, something important about the date. The release date is literally the date when the show will be released. So some people have like a lot of short segments they want to upload all at once and then release once a week. So the release date that you put in there is literally where it will show up on the website. So if you put it in the past, it will go into the past. If you put it in the future, the website will wait to release it until midnight or 1 second after midnight and on the date that it's been told to release it, and it'll show up then. So you can upload a number of shows in advance and release them, you know, on a time release.
Good point. And then when you have all your information, next page. Oh, is it not letting me do it because
you didn't pick a series?
Make a choice here. Add new series.
You can just say not a series. Well,
oh,
yeah, just say not a series. Otherwise, you have to go back and clean it up. Okay.
No one gave you more work. Okay, give me more work. Okay, so and then this is.
I just should mention that a series is owned by the login. So if you want to make it Sprouts, you need to log in as the Sprouts user.
Yes.
So the series is owned by the login.
Yeah, yeah, it's a database.
Yeah. And then when you have all your info, you'll choose file, click that, and it'll go to your computer, pick what you want, put it in there. And this is important, this label. I've had people tell me that some people don't put labels, and please, everyone, do put a label. It helps other stations organize and identify what they need when they want to put in a show from the AudioPort. And then I guess should I stop here?
Yeah, so then the next page is just the upload process, and there's some sort of progress bar. For the last thing,
Yeah.
Stephanie, why don't you show a page, how it looks after it's done uploading? Because we had a question about that.
Yeah, the other thing is the label. If it's a series, the label will default to sort of what the series name is, you know, without the thes and stuff. And then usually it'll add the date. But people have asked for much more specific labels. It doesn't seem to be a very happy choice.
Okay. Our last Sprouts show was electoral integrity.
So, yeah, so after it
Go down.
uploads, this is how it looks. This is what you'll see. Now, while you're uploading, the website will ask you whether the program is FCC compliant, and you are asked to say yes. Now, many people say yes and then don't mean it. So we just ask people, you know, this is grassroots radio. So there is no police, but we do ask that people honor that to keep everybody safe. And so they're asked if this is compliant with the FCC. If you say yes, then you proceed to upload. And when it's done up, and if your content is not an MP3 higher than 128, and yes, if you show a show that's not compliant, please email us. We always act on that immediately. In fact, we take the show down immediately and contact the producer. Once the show has to be at least 128 bit rate MP3, and it has to be a sample rate of 4100, right, Otis?
44,100?
44,100. So, and
In
yes,
short,
the report,
broadcast quality. Because at one
right.
time we were getting, you know, 16-bit.
Right, and thank you, Michelle. That's a good
shows.
idea to have a report button. That's I like that. So anyway, so if that all works, then the website will upload your show, and then it'll show you a page like this, which basically says your show is ready to go. Now, people ask us how you put the show in your workroom if you want to keep it private. On the first upload page where Stephanie was filling all that stuff out, there was a box at the top of the page that said, put this in my workroom. So that's how you do it.
Click on edit program. Just click on edit program and you'll see it.
Well, Stephanie, can you scroll down for a minute? I just
Yeah.
wanted to show. No, we just across the board do not allow FCC violations on the website, regardless of safe harbor, because it's just too much liability. So what you see now below the download button is a list of people who have downloaded this show. So that's how the producer can see who's downloading their show. Now, one of the things that AudioPort was built in 2003 before there was podcast technology. And so the addition of automating AudioPort came a few years later. And yeah, well, if anybody's having trouble with Arnie, let me know, because that isn't something to talk about. But anyway, you'll notice down below, there's podcast info, and you'll see a bunch of IP addresses. These are affiliates who are downloading your show. This is a radio, and people are not downloading your show unless they plan to air it, 90% of the time. So these are also radio stations that are broadcasting your show. They're doing it with podcast technology because they're automating their downloads. And we do not have a way yet of identifying them because podcast technology does not use your email address. And IP addresses for aggregators change on a regular basis. So this is one of the banes of our existence. We cannot tell you who these people are. We can tell you that these are a whole bunch of stations that are airing your program. This is not other, there are no outsiders using this website. There are no end users using the website. These are stations that are airing your program. We don't know who they are. But as you can see, there's a growing list of people who do that. Because our radio stations do not have a lot of staff, so they tend to use technology. There is a contract about how the use of the AudioPort. I don't remember if it specifically talks about manipulating the content. It does say that you cannot use the content for anything except to put it on the air. I do think the contract says you can use parts of a show, but I would have to, if you If you are an affiliate, you can look at the contract. If you're not, actually, I think if you go to AudioPort in the FAQ section, there is a copy of the contract that outlines the, the rights and regulations. One of the reasons we limit the website to our affiliates is because we do treat AudioPort as a warehouse within a closed system, which allows us to do what we're doing, but it also, requires the honor system. I
Just
think
one thing.
right now the only other country besides the US and Europe is Canada. African affiliates kind of come and go with regimes. I don't think we have any African affiliates right now. Sometimes we do. And there's a bunch of people in New Zealand that are currently interested in joining AudioPort. But right now it's Canada and Europe and the United States.
I got one thing I want to say.
Okay, go, Otis.
About uploading and the way a series works. If you have, for instance, a 2-hour show, you want to make a separate series for each of those hours. So you're going to have a series that's your show, part 1, and your show, part 2. If, for
Right.
instance, you want to put in, do promos for your show, you make a separate series for the promo. The rule about the series is one file and one file only. No segments, no versions, none of that, because the RSS system is not real smart. And it will put up the file. If you, for instance, stuck a promo into your series, as well as the show, it's very likely that the download would be a 1-minute piece. And the automation system would be very unhappy. So that's the rule. With a series, it's one file. And if you're going to split it into parts, you're going to have a separate series for each part.
What's that
Yeah.
show that we like on Fridays that has all the eclectic music?
Yeah, it's Peter Beauchamp's All
Yeah,
Mixed
Peter
Up.
Beauchamp. Peter Beauchamp, if you look at All Mixed Up, you'll see that he's got one that's the 2-hour show, then he's got 2 1-hour shows. You're
Yeah.
just looking at the 2-hour. That's the 2-hour show. But if you go by producer, I think you see all of them. Oh, there it is. He's got part 1 and part 2 and the whole show.
Yeah, if I click
Okay.
on part 1,
Stephanie, scroll down for a minute. Somebody's asking how many people are picking Peter up.
oh,
Just scroll down. We can just take a visual check. I don't want to count them, but
There's a thing. He's got the thing is he's doing the same series all mixed up, part 1 and part 2. Don't do that. He's just changing the title. He also has another all mixed up part 1 series and an all mixed up part 2 series.
oh,
Because
okay.
I've had long conversations with Peter about this.
Okay.
so I'm going to push us to move on because we have just a little bit less than 15 minutes. And there has been talk about the Internet Technology Package, and I just want to take a few minutes to mention that. I think one of the takeaways we want to communicate about AudioPort is that we are Pacifica Network is just will always be a completely grassroots network. We operate like a grassroots network, and so this is AudioPort is constantly a work in progress, and we are constantly on the phone with people who are being flummoxed by it in some way or need help. And so this is a conversation that we conduct with you when you're involved, and we help everybody through it, whatever whatever the problem is, even if it's like yelling at them about their curse words. I mean, Chuck D made a reference to that. We've had to call up Chuck D various times and shake our fingers at him and say you're putting stations at risk here with your language. So the beauty of the beauty of AudioPort is that it's a tool for a network, and so it's a conversation. It's very human, and we all keep working on it together. And I just, I'm just humbled and so grateful to everybody who has, cooperated to make this a successful network. It's a website that it's riding on its momentum so hard that we struggle to keep up with. We get an average of maybe 3 new producers a week adding their shows to the network, and an average of 1 or 2 stations a month that want to join the network to use the website. So, and this is really, we kind of are in the driver's seat, but it's really a testimony to the desire of community radio to collaborate and to work together to build the profession. And that's what this website is doing. It's really fostering new generations of producers. And we hope the day comes soon when Pacifica, when our office can actually provide grants to provide new programming and encourage new producers the way PRX does into AudioPort. I think that's kind of the next step. Okay, I want to just spend a few minutes to talk about the Internet Technology Package. It came up on Friday, and so we just wanted to give a few minutes to it. And I'm going to pass it over to David to give kind of like an overview of what that is.
Thanks, Ursula. Is everybody hearing me?
Mm-hmm.
Yippee!
Yeah.
Pacifica, in addition to the AudioPort, Pacifica offers this Internet Technology Package, and the package consists of several components. Those components are things that you would use to help, I want to say automate, but help facilitate all kinds of things with respect to your station. So I'll just rattle them off. There's, and you can see them in Stephanie's screen share there. There's the Copyright Confessor, which is a facility for reporting music that you stream. And it works sort of in conjunction with the archiver, or as it's listed here, Parchive. The archiver can archive your internet stream and split it up into little chunks and let people listen to those on demand. So this is a time shifting tool. And so along with the archiver and the confessor, you have a schedule. You have to enter your program schedule. And so you do that so that the archiver knows when to split the stream into chunks. So yeah, you see that also in bold on the screen, you see the reference to Sound Exchange. Sound Exchange is the entity that distributes royalties to artists for music that is streamed on the internet. And so if you are streaming and you aren't already reporting to Sound Exchange, excuse me, I'm gonna mute here. Where's my cough switch? If you're not already reporting to Sound Exchange, you should be doing that. And the Confessor is the tool that helps do that. There's another piece to the Internet Technology Package that isn't talked about a whole lot, and that is a tool for helping you with your pledge drives. And that's a whole big, I mean, Otis likes to say that that's basically an accounting package, because it lets you keep track of your members, that is your station members, people who listen to your station and give you money. It lets you keep track of those and send out invoices or bills or whatever. And it doesn't deal directly with credit cards, but we work with a credit card processor to handle payments. And so several stations use the pledge package or the sustainer package, as it's listed here on Stephanie's screen share, to track how they're doing during a pledge drive. And so it'll show real-time statistics of monies received and monies pledged and things like that. I think that's roughly, that's the elevator pitch. It was a long ride. It's a tall building, but that's the quick summary of the Pacifica Internet Technology Package. Did I leave anything out, you guys?
Well, I think what I'm going to do is show how it looks on our station's website so that there's kind of an illustration of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie, can you go to KHOI fm.org.
Or the French Open.
Okay, so this is KHOI's website where we're located in Ames, Iowa. And if you scroll down just a little bit, Stephanie. Okay, there's a megaphone there. Click on the megaphone. No, I think you clicked on the streaming. Scroll up again. Keep going. Okay, click on the megaphone, yeah. Okay, this is the archive. So what the archive is doing is that it's recording and posting our shows in real time as soon as they end. So right now it's, you know, it's telling you the last show that was being recorded. It's an hour behind because the show being recorded right now is a 2-hour show. And so this is just that if you, Stephanie, scroll down, you can see that this is, you know, a record of, I'm not sure, I mean, how far back we go. I think we go back about 3 months. So people can go back and find their show and listen to it again online. Now, you can technically also make it possible for people to download the shows, but we disabled that because of the unreliability of people putting licensed music in their shows, and we just don't want to have to deal with the consequences of that. So we only allow people to listen to it and not to download it. And then if you look at the top, it says play on the air now. That is the actual stream of the radio station. We use Pacifica for our stream. Pacifica does, as part of the Internet Technology Package, offers a stream. You don't have to use the Pacifica stream. It's a great stream. It's we have an individual server for Pacifica's affiliates, so there's lots of space. It's pretty unlimited and it's very reliable. So we use the Pacifica stream for our, you know, our internet presence. But again, you don't have to use that to use the archive and the Confessor. The thing that's making this archive is the same software that is the reporting software, so that you're simultaneously creating this archive and the reporting, you know, the structure for reporting. The reporting actually has to happen, you know, the DJs still have to put in the information in the reporting, but the template for it is the same. The other thing I wanted to show you is, Stephanie, can you go back to the home page? And then if you scroll up, if you go to our program schedule, yeah, and then KHOI schedule grid. This is our grid. This is also created by the same software, which is something I really like. We used to have to generate our own program schedules, and it was just like really a stupid activity. And so this automatically puts this on our website. So this all appears, you know, the archive and the program grid appear to be on the website. They are obviously not. They're on the Pacifica server, but they are integrated into your website. So it appears that way. And then there, Otis just told me about a new feature he created. So Otis, why don't you talk about that? Because it's actually really nice. Which is another thing that the archive, the same software will generate.
Give me the share, unshare. Let me share. I'll just show you a couple of things.
Yeah.
This is just fun. One of the advantages of streaming with us is you get the stats for your station. This is for KKFI. And you can see, you know, what you've got there. The other thing is, I just want to show you the tally screen for the pledge system. This is showing the person in the studio exactly where they stand, what their numbers are, who to thank, you know, and they can read the featured gifts if they're using gifts. It's just cute. What do we have? Yes. One of the other things about it is that for those who, there's an API for the Confessor and the archive so that you can actually create a page from the information in the Confessor and the archive. So this is at KPFT in Houston, and this is a very bare page actually that I created. You could do a lot more with it, but this is like one of their main shows. And so this page here is generated completely from that information. So here's the playlist. You can see the playlist for this music show. And anybody who does music knows how important playlists are to the listeners. And furthermore, you can play the last shows. We only can keep a music show for 14 days. So that's why there's some limitation. This is a daily show. And so now it's actually playing. That's just one of the cool
Yeah, that's really nice.
little features. Let me unshare. There.
Yeah.
Oh, I was going to say
So,
that one of the other things is because of the automatic music recognition, there's no reason not to report for the full quarter. The advantage of doing that is to the musicians that you're reporting for. Now they are included and they'll get a check. There's no reason. The assumption in the beginning was you were going to have to sit there and, you know, write all this stuff down in pencil, you know, and somehow report it that way. But when it's automatic, there's no reason not to report. That's all.
okay, I want to end the session soon out of courtesy to the next people coming. But just, you know, in closing, there's always a question of the money, right? And so this whole internet technology package does not come with affiliation. It's an extra cost. For affiliates, it's an incredibly low cost. And really the only goal of that money is to pay for the support staff that we need to, you know, to build this and to run it. And for instance, I'm trying to convince David Klahn here to stay on as a support staff person, and which means we have to pay him because it's hard work. So that's what the money's going to. It's a very, very low cost for affiliates. We do have another fee structure for non-affiliates, which is a little bit higher. But it's a great system. We've been using it for many years here at KHOI. So I've been my own client for a while, and I think it's really great. The only weakness we've had is that we have such small staff at Pacifica that it's been difficult to provide enough tech support, and that's why we're looking really to engage more people to make that more user friendly. And if you're interested, the easiest way to do it is to contact me at ursula@pacifica.org. You can also, our website is pacificanetwork.org. And thank you for listening. I hope we've been able to answer most of the questions as they've been happening. If anybody has something, we'll stick around for a few minutes, but I do not want to intrude on the next segment.
Thanks for listening and watching, everybody.